Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the next episode of Uru to Denis. Hope you're all enjoying your Thursday evening / Friday morning, depending on your time zone. In the chat, let's do a quick rundown of who we've got in the chat. We've got DarkFaith13, we've got Trank 0007. Good morning to you, good afternoon to you, respectively. Zephyronicus, Dark Fae. Sorry, I already said Dark Fae. Lol. Then we also have Star Shadow X2 from Canada representing. I hope you're all having a great day. I hope you all had a great Easter. It was Easter bank holiday last weekend. So, yeah, I hope you all ate a regrettable amount of chocolate. Okay. Let's do a quick intro for YouTube in the future, and then we'll get underway. But I'm expecting that today we're going to finish To Denis and maybe do Path of the Shell. I don't know. We'll see. Unclear to me how much more To Denis there is. Maybe we just have to plug in. Like we've very much reached the end of the instructions, but we'll see. Okay. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the next episode of Uru Complete Chronicles. Last time out. Oh, and we have a first-time chatter. We have Platinum Caterpillar. Hello, also from Canada. Welcome. Welcome to the stream. Last time out, we were getting the GZPMs. Great Zero Point Module locators. And we've got the final one. So we're going to go back to ReZero. We're going to plug that in, and then maybe that's the end of To Denis, and we're going to start Path of the Shell. Who knows? Now I'm hoping, unlike last week where we got really stuck with the whole how do I even start rhyme question, I'm kind of hoping that when we do come to Path of the Shell, it is as straightforward as open that book, start reading that book. We'll see. Okay. That is not necessarily where I intended to go, but I mean, it's not going to hurt to have a quick, just a quick refresher on the final part of the instructions. So, after we've got the fourth marker, the key's calibrated. If the Great Zero has not been turned on, it will also turn on, and then you're finished. We at the DRC hope this document has provided a better understanding of the key and Great Zero functionality. We hope you realize how vital your success is to help calibrate our Great Zero. We appreciate your support greatly. Is this too mushy? Might be a little over the top. Again, thank you for visiting the Great Zero, and we appreciate your patience and support. Excellent. Well, with that, let's go to the Nexus. Okay. ReZero. So, I mentioned last week that I'd finished recording the final episode of Another Crab's Treasure, which was, you know, good fun. So this week I have just finished recording the first couple of episodes of Ender Magnolia, which might not be like of super interest to everyone here, because I know that the Metroid, looking at the YouTube statistics, right, I know that the Metroidvania crowd and the Myst crowd don't have a huge amount of overlap. Like, there is a little bit of overlap. But yes, we are going to be starting Ender Magnolia in a couple weeks' time. We'll throw the first couple of episodes up fairly soon. And yeah, can confirm it's good. Can confirm it's good. Like, I've played like an hour and a half of it, or just short of 2 hours of it so far. And yeah, really thoroughly enjoying that. Okay. Ooh, ooh, what's it doing? Oh no, it's shooting lasers. Door gonna open. Hey, we got Dodo Sevenger in the chat. Hello, hello. Maybe that laser is kind of going through. Dark Fae is looking forward to seeing Ender Magnolia. There. I'm glad. Yeah, it's really neat. It's really neat. I'm really enjoying it, at least the first couple of episodes anyway. It's whatever this is, it's on and it's spinning around and doing all sorts of electricity and stuff. Hey, do you know what? It kind of looks like the big spinny thing in the middle of firmament. Like a little bit. Aren't Metroidvanias watched less in general? I think they're much more fun to play than watch. Not for me though, I suck at them. Do we put our... Let me think. I might have to have a little mental refresher on like what exactly were we trying to do again? Okay, so we've turned on the Great Zero. What does that do for us? Congratulations on turning on the Great Zero. Thank you, Dark Fae. To Dodo's point, aren't Metroidvanias watched less in general? Yes, that is true. That is true. It's probably about somewhere between like a half and a quarter, something like that. But gosh, they're fun to play, though. Haven't you done what you wanted to do? What on earth brought you back to Uru? And is this in fact your favourite Myst game? That's a good question. What did bring me back to Uru? What did bring me back to Uru? We finished the base game. And the Barrow were free. So why did we come back to Danae? Oh, you're asking the deep questions there, Kentotic. You're asking the deep questions. There is only one answer to that question. Yes, the second favourite. I mean, maybe something's now going to be different elsewhere. Like, I'm assuming that's not just the end of 2 Denis. So this is where the MMO currently sits at, where you can do challenge runs that you complete with your friends to do collection runs, basically mini games where you collect GZMs. Oh no, there is more. Okay. This is one of the hardest aspects. Okay, well let's start by going into this room, right? Because this is like the GZM control desk or whatever, isn't it? It looks like we should be getting like a giant laser shooting out of this thing at some point, doesn't it? You know, it's kind of got giant laser vibes. What am I suppose? Yeah, I mean, this is sort of doing a sweeping beam, isn't it? Is it even possible he'll remember what to do next? Oh, what? You mean that dialogue that we listened to like 12 months ago? Yeah, of course. Okay, hang on, wait. Let's go back. So why are we here at the Great Zero? Antechamber. You're currently standing in the Great Zero antechamber. There's the machinery right there. Right, so we got the markers. Great Zero markers. We've done it. We upgraded the key. Great Zero courtyard. You don't find any way that I would remember it or find it in my notes. Oh shoot, okay. What did I put into my notes? No, this isn't even to Denis. We didn't even really make that many notes into Denis. Big hint there. Hang on, wait. I don't see any way he'll remember it or even find it somewhere in the notes. Wait, no, probably not my notes. Maybe these notes. This is... Hang on. Number of various machines. We apologize for the great detail, but the structure and related mechanisms of the system are complicated. You're currently standing in the Great Zero antechamber. 5 Great Zero markers via your Nexus. Great Zero markers found in numerous locations throughout the cavern are fairly easy to find by following a few steps followed in the system. You can already see it, that this is going to bring you onto a massive tangent. Okay. Hang on. Is it in these notes or is it in my notes? give me that. The most important calibration is it right. 4th marker, key will be calibrated. If the Great Zero has not been turned on, it will turn on. And you're finished. It's in a note. Right, okay. So it's in a note somewhere. I mean, the obvious place to start would be like Bevan and Kirel, because these are probably like the least used areas, I guess. I am kind of looking forward to... oh, hey Jeffras, incidentally. I am kind of looking forward to going to other ages again. I think that'd be nice. But then again, having said that, you know, you always miss what you didn't have, right? We spent the best part of 4 games wondering when we're going to get... when we're actually going to get to see Denis.
Hello, test, Victor, are we on? Okay, okay then. Hello everyone. Hi. Thanks to Victor, we've gotten some additional Denis technology working. It should be quite useful in sending messages here from the Dakota to the numerous neighborhoods as one more way to keep you informed of how things are progressing. Let me begin by once again welcoming newcomers to Denis. We're very pleased to have you. I know I've spoken with a few of you in person, but to those of you I haven't met yet, welcome to the restoration. The DRC and restoration engineers have been working very hard to put things in order. As you've probably noticed, various areas of the island, Agura, have been opened over the past few weeks, with quite a bit more scheduled over the next few days, weeks, and months to come. We are also working on opening up several new ages. And what we know that many of you have been given access to ages that haven't gone through any kind of process yet. And we certainly do not encourage use of any unapproved books. But let's just say that with your safety uppermost in our minds, we're pushing to approve those ages just as quickly as we can. Oh, and several of you have asked what you can do to help with the restoration effort. As you may already know, the Denis keys have the ability to determine their precise location here in the cavern as well as in other ages. Much of this functionality is governed here in the cavern by the Great Zero. Victor has recently succeeded in getting portions of the Great Zero functioning again, but he tells me it still needs to be calibrated.
Mm-hmm.
We'll soon begin to focus on another island area, the ferry terminal and its associated docks. We actually had some restoration engineers do some diving, and they found a sunken boat that we hope to raise at a later date. Before that, however, we will inspect the docks and approve them for public access. Now, let's see. Yes, outside the cavern, Garisen continues to progress nicely. Victor's team has recently made some discoveries that will enable us to open up more of the interior space. The wall is what we call it. Members of our team are also working on another age that should be opened within the next few weeks. Perhaps we will post some pictures. I will end by addressing some peculiar events that have been occurring. Odd stones, books, cloths, and pages have been reported appearing from time to time.
I've listened to it like 4 times, Dodo.
Probably unsuccessfully, that you not use these oddities. The DRC will, for now, simply wash its hands of any consequence arising from their use. In other words, if you use them, you do so at your own risk. We will continue to remove these artifacts if they're found, but so far that has proved fruitless. But, no. I'm sorry to say it this way, but anyone involved in the placing of these books will be banned from the cavern. But to end
I remember that.
Thanks for all the continued help to all of you and patience as Denis slowly begins to grow again.
Okay, so he mentioned the Great Zero. He mentioned the Great Zero lets you know your precise location in other ages as well. So now that we've calibrated our key... is the point that we now know our location in other ages. Does that help us in some way? We have Gage Blackwood in the YouTube chat. Hello to you. Hello to you. So, I mean, the other thing is that Bevan and Kirill were available in the base game, and so they aren't sort of strictly speaking to Denis ages. Let's have a little look. Yeah, okay. I thought I saw maybe something that was like a little bit different. Doesn't matter, we can get back there really, really swiftly from this book. It's like, not that one, it's that one. The note is from Rawa. Oh, hello. Wait a minute, that's... Hang on a second. No. Is that the ship he was talking about? What was that thing that just flashed up in front of me? The Luck. I'm gonna... I assume the thing's gonna spin back round and we're gonna see it. That was like a 1 in a million chance. I mean, sometimes we get lucky on the stream. Wow. Okay. I mean, it's like a portal, I guess. Are we waiting for the thing to come back round? Because the thing's spinning, right? Oh! Oh no, shoot. I fell off. Wait. Impatient. Yeah, I know. Well, the thing's supposed to spin faster. Surely. I don't know. Oh! There it is! Quick! Ugh. Ooh! It was like a Path of the Shell symbol, wasn't it? Oh, is this like borrow magic? We've just linked without using a book. Okay, so we have a pedestal there. Let's... Oh no, but there's no book there, so there's nothing to stick your hand in. Okay. Get that, whatever it is. Okay. Book here. Probably about 1 in 100 million. So, we could work it out, couldn't we? We could work it out because there's like an amount of time that the thing takes to sweep, and there's effectively some sort of angular size that the portal lasts for. I don't know. Cool. Excellent. Here we go. 122603. I can't take it. After all our efforts to ensure everyone's safety down here in the cavern, yet another accident has taken the life of another friend. It's too much. For years I've been stressing that the restoration must be handled carefully, that extreme caution should be our byword. There is no reason to rush. Then recently the explorers began showing up despite our warnings, despite our statements that we're moving and working as quickly and as safely as we can. It wasn't fast enough for them. They just don't comprehend. We've been working down here for over 10 years, yet they think they know better, that we can just approve areas more quickly. I have tried to impress upon them the importance of moving slowly, deliberately, carefully. My warnings seem to fall on deaf ears. Their enthusiasm is understandable. Their disregard for the safety of the people down here is not. Then Phil returned. He'd been gone over a year after he disappeared behind the door we were unable to open in Ida Chemo. We'd worried about him, hoping he was still okay. It was great to have him back and know he was okay, but he was just as willing to risk his safety and disregard our precautions as the explorers. Now, just a few weeks after his return, he was in an unauthorized area today and was killed when a wall collapsed on him. The accidents must be stopped. It started with Branch being killed in an accident of one of our trips in 91, then the death of Elias in 93 because his obsession with the restoration had caused him to neglect his health. Then all the needless injuries suffered by various restoration engineers over the years, and now the death of Phil. That's the final straw. It has to stop. I cannot bear the responsibility of this restoration any longer. The price is too high. I don't know where I'm going. I've been wandering the tunnels for days. No direction, no purpose. Trying to clear my head. Nothing happy about this new year. I keep running over it in my head. I've been so committed to this project for so long. Maybe I've been deluding myself about the truth. What if we've been wrong all along? What if Jeff's been right? Maybe the restoration should take a completely different direction. It's hard to imagine that I'm saying this. I'm still in denial that we've spent so many years of our lives heading in the wrong direction. But the very fact that I can entertain that as a possibility means something. The restoration cannot continue as we had planned. It breaks my heart, but I know deep down that it's true. So much time, so many plans, so much gone. So much. I still can't believe I'm even thinking this, but that's the way it has to be. Oh, have we read this previously? No. Hang on, wait. To get you up to speed, if you go to Sharper's office and read the note there, it tells you the coordinates of where you link to by total chance. I think we read that before even chat. It doesn't appear after the GZ is turned on. Oh, not this journal. Right, okay, the clue for where we go to... Right, okay, I see. I saw something weird. Here's the coordinates. I've got it. Hey, we have Larry Fontenot in the YouTube chat. Welcome, Larry. Great to have you live on the stream. The Watson notebook you're reading right now is actually a prelude to Myst 5. I'm really looking forward to Myst 5. Like, I hear it's kind of a little bit... I hear Myst 5 is definitely like the most controversial one, as in like probably the least good, but I'm really looking... But I've also heard though it's the weirdest, and I'm really looking forward to kind of like how weird we can get it. So I'm really hyped for Myst 5 when we get there. Right. Where were we? Will the other restoration members understand? Maybe. The explorers won't, I'm sure. Can't be helped. The restoration can't continue after these events. But all that work, all the progress we were making, no words to describe how angry it makes me, even while knowing inside that this is how it must be. Such a waste. No, there must be a way. Something else we can do to continue the restoration and still ensure everyone's safety. Surely now that people have seen tragedy firsthand, they'll recognise how important our caution is. Depression. It won't work. We tried that for months. Even Phil's death won't change it. I realise now that Atris was right. He said that the city in the cavern should not be restored. I believed for years that his admonition didn't include those of us from the surface, that we could somehow be a loophole in his concerns, but he was right. I finally see that now. What do we do now? Phil said that he'd been on a journey and was convinced that there was a better way. I need to talk to Ikuro. I find myself here, in a familiar place that suddenly holds so much more meaning. Here at the very crossroads, the pivotal junction of Denis and human intertwining, this very room where Tiana once rested with her young son Gen, where Gen and his own son Atris slept along their journey, this small room on the cusp of the grandest of rooms, a tiny resting place half the distance up or down the great shaft itself, a pause halfway between here and there. I find myself here. It's been my pause, my chance to ponder. I've been wandering for 3 weeks, grieving, thinking, fasting, reflecting, pausing from the cares of work, of rebuilding, of rules, of structure, of people and places, of frictions and factions, of life and death. And now I realise that I have only looked on Denis as bones. My rebuilding was only an attempt to reassemble the dried, dead bones into a dried, dead skeleton. No more alive, but arranged to poorly mimic what was once alive. I somehow thought that those dried bones would live again and become the storyteller, telling me things I long to know. I still long to know. I still feel a calling. I'm meant to be part of Denis somehow. I'm drawn here because it holds an answer for me. But now I understand that I need more than a dead story from a pile of bones. I need a storyteller who lives. Brief pause. So, couple of thoughts in my mind on this one, right? So, dried bones is one of those things. You know how occasionally, like, you'll see a TikTok or you see a YouTube short, which is like uncomfortable facts or facts that are like obviously true but no one really thinks about, and it kind of makes you feel uncomfortable. The one that really gets me, right? The one that really gets me is the one where it's like the bones inside your body aren't dry; they're actually wet, and I'm like, oh. Actually, that just kind of makes me feel like really gross thinking about that. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of obvious, right? But it's like, oh, I don't like thinking of my bones as being wet. It makes you itch, yeah. It's not a nice one, is it? It's not a nice one. Are they 90% water? No, I don't think they're 90% water. Larry Fontenot says Myst 5 was cobbled together using ages that were intended to be in Uru. They took the ones they'd started working on and used them for a standalone game. Hey, needs must, right? Dodo, we are all wet everywhere. Oh, keep it PG, Dodo. Keep it PG. Yeah, your toes are touching kind of feeling. Yeah. Do you know what? When I was younger, I don't mind it so much nowadays, but when I was a teenager, I had a really big thing about sleeping with my fingers touching. So I used to have to like sleep with my fingers splayed. Like it was like a really big deal that my fingers couldn't touch each other whilst I was sleeping because I could like feel them. I don't know. I read the double. I understood the implication. Anyway, the other thought I have here, talking about Metroidvanias from earlier, right? Now, one thing that we've sort of been vaguely discussing in the comment section here and there is Cyan Worlds, right? And the Cyan Worlds situation, and obviously the very regrettable news about them laying off about 12 of their team members. And you know, what if you were the head of Cyan Worlds, what direction would you take the company, right? And let me share my thought on this one. It's out there. It's kind of a bit of a wild one, right? I think the Myst IP is really, really great. I think the Myst IP is really, really great. I don't think very many people are that aware of it. I think you could do a lot of non-puzzle games within the Myst IP, and one that I would 100% do is a Metroidvania, effectively, with Gen trying to find his way to the Denis Caverns from the surface, because there's a whole bunch of, you know, you have your kind of standard Metroidvania kind of delving deeper and deeper into the earth to try and uncover the secrets. And you could be like getting all of this tech and unlocking the doors and so on as you go. And I think that would really work, right? Now, obviously, it's a very different kind of game, and maybe Cyan Worlds, well, you know, they know puzzle games, don't they? So maybe, you know, maybe not. Maybe it's a dumb idea. I don't know. I think it would be a cool idea, though. They have already tried this, though. Just rereading Sharper's Journal to remind myself, in the CC version of the universe, they did have the GZ going, and it just turned off when the DRC started shutting it down. You thought I'd say movie or show? No. No, I don't think a movie or a show. Like, so I spent a lot of time in the Magic the Gathering community, right? I played a lot of Magic for many years, and there was always sort of big rumblings about like, oh yeah, you know, we should get like a movie, we should get a Netflix show, etc. I don't think those ever turn out very well, to be honest. Like, I mean, Arcane is probably the exception, but like, I don't know. I would really struggle to name 5 properties that have made the jump from video game media to film or TV show, and been palatable to fans of that IP. That's not to say that they were unsuccessful. Like, you can still be successful, and not be palatable to the existing fans, right? But I mean, I guess it depends what your objective is. If your objective is like the success of Cyan Worlds in isolation, or is the objective to, like, you know, grow in such a way that you don't like alienate your current fan base, right? The real life Jeff Zandy was very big in Magic the Gathering. We also have James Moores in the chat. You've caught up. Welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. Cyan had multiple talks about Book of Tiana, but nothing ever came of it. They didn't want to make the games into a movie or so. Yeah, no, I mean, I would agree. I don't think it works. But I do think there is scope for other games that aren't puzzle games set within the Myst IP. I think there is potential there. Having said that, that's not the first thing I would do. The first thing I would do, you know, if we are talking about like what would I do if I actually ran Cyan Worlds, marketing, right? Like a lot more marketing. Like I would reckon that if you're running a team of 12 people, I would probably say 3 or 4 of those people should probably be doing marketing like as their job 100% of the time. I don't know what the ratios are, but like, you know, Cyan World's TikTok account has got like 1,500 followers, which is incredibly small. Their YouTube account's got like 18,000 subscribers, which is better, but like that's kind of like mid-sized. But like, let me put right, because I was looking at this earlier, because I saw a post on Reddit actually that was asking earlier about like what should Cyan do, but you know, like in the last year on their YouTube channel, they got 18,000 subs, right? But in the last year on their YouTube channel, they've posted something like 18 videos. So they're doing like 1.5 videos a month in a year where they released their remake of Riven, right? Because the Riven remake came out like what, last May, something like that. So the last 12 months includes all of the launch stuff for the Riven remake, and they've done 18 videos in the last year. So that's where I think the attention really needs to be, is like how much effort are they actually putting into advertising and marketing, you know. We have Spiper in the chat. Warm greetings to you. Cyan was always open to movies or TV shows. It just never worked out. Yeah, fair. And Dodo says they should have gone to multiple indie shows with Riven at least, but never did, unfortunately. You are right, they are quite under the radar. Yeah. They just can't rely on the dedicated fan base and word of mouth anymore, right? You have to be putting out the short form media, particularly. You've got to be generating buzz on TikTok. Okay. Let's continue. I still long to know. I still feel a calling. I am meant to be part of Denise somehow. I am drawn here because it holds an answer for me, but now I understand that I need more than a dead story from a pile of bones. I need a storyteller who lives. And so here I am, small, on the edge of a vast unknown, this place that seems so appropriate. I've come to a conclusion. A conclusion that goes against who I was, but fills me with life and hope. I will take a leap of faith. I will take a new journey. The journey that Phil encouraged me to take for myself. A journey that is out of my control. I will jump into something and lose myself. Take a journey to places unknown, whose end is not yet written. This is how we got here. I will follow Yisha's mysterious beckoning. Somehow even writing it lifts my spirit. I am returning to the surface to do just that. And you, friend, if you have not already done so, should do the same. Leap without truly understanding what lies beneath, and let a glimpse of the future rise up to meet you. I'm terrified, but also full of hope that Denis can now truly be restored, alive again. And the storyteller will be alive, and it will be me. Nice. So we got a door here, door here. Oh no, that is not a door. Oh, and that's not a door either. It's a balcony. Oh, is this the Great Shaft? Yes. Right. This is the cavern, the pause. So we've got two options, right? We can head downwards, which I guess eventually takes us there. Or upwards. Shall we try upwards first? Because I don't see an end. I'm also kind of tempted by the fact that he literally says, take a leap. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to go... Oh no! I might be about to fall off anyway. Hang on. Okay, no, I am going to fall off anyway. I thought I was actually going to hit the floor there. Like... Oh, hello. Perhaps the ending has not yet been written. The end? Question mark? The journal did tell you what to do. Okay. So that's the end of the game, I guess. What a weird conclusion. Don't worry, you'll get a better look at this at a later date. Excellent. James Moores, you frequently left without consideration of what lies beneath, but usually not on purpose. Oh no, but usually. Sorry, not usually on purpose. Excellent. Okay, where are we now? Okay, that is 51. That's 51. Right. In the interests of posterity, if you'll indulge me for a couple of moments, because we upload these as individual episodes and we have our individual playlists, if that is the conclusion of To Denis and we're about to start Path of the Shell, let's do a quick outro and then we'll do a quick intro and then I'm going to cut these as two different episodes. Okay. So, if you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for joining us for our playthrough of Uru Complete Chronicles To Denis. It's been really interesting going through the various caverns and so on of Denis and seeing, you know, Bevin, Kiril, Kavir, etc. I would say probably not the best puzzles that Cyan have ever put out there. Like To Denis definitely has some weakness to it, but it has been nice sort of wandering around the ancient city. So that's going to wrap us up for this playlist of To Denis. Join us next time. We're going to be doing Path of the Shell. Thank you very much. Okay, so that's the outro for that episode. So I'll just do a quick intro for the next episode. Yeah, To Denis, the Walking Sim DLC. Oh well, so this break here, right, before I do the intro for the next episode, this will be the stuff that's not in the recording. So you know, we can we can cover all of the off the record stuff right now. Yeah, I mean, you know, it was interesting, you know, like it's fine. I mean, Walking Simulator I think is a pretty apt description for it, you know. It was like a nice experience to be wandering around the caverns, and it's been great hearing the various lore that's associated with the different buildings and so on. And you know what? Reading through the history of all the kings of Denis, I did actually quite enjoy that. I found that quite Interesting. I can imagine a lot of people skipping that though. But anyway, let's make a start with Path of the Shell. Okay, here we go. Good evening, my friends, and welcome to the first episode of Path of the Shell. We're actually halfway through the stream right now. We've just finished 2 Denis, but we're going to record this up as a separate episode. Path of the Shell is the next DLC that we're going to be undertaking in Uru, and it has, I'm looking forward to this one because it has what a lot of people say are their favourite age. Okay, so let's go check it out. And I think we check it out by just opening up the Path of the Shell book. Although before we do that, we do have these shelves here. Oh, yes, Dodo is actually giving me a helpful reminder. These are Path of the Shell books, and we have never actually read these. Oh, hang on. Am I going to need to remember my Denis numbering? So that's Shell. That's a number. That's number 2. That's 3, 4, and indeed 5. Okay. So, shall we start with a bit of reading? Why not? Incidentally, if you're new to this series, and I'm not sure why you'd be starting with your, first episode being the Path of the Shell episode 1, but if you are new to our Uru playthrough, yes, we do a lot of audiobook reading. Okay. Okay, no, it is only 3 pages. This looks like quite a repetitive read. I can tell just from the font. On the 625th month of my life, I was gazing upon the star of Cess in the sky of the age of Windring. And at the time of my birth, the star began to brighten until it became brighter than the rings themselves. And with a sudden brilliance, it turned the night into day, and I beheld the fire of the Maker. And he spoke to me, and the fire of the Maker left me, and I saw only blackness, because my eyes were blinded. But his words remained. You will wait for a time, and you will watch for a time more, and you will receive the signs of things that have been, and signs of things that will be. And great wisdom will be passed through you, so that those who come after you will know that I am the Maker. You will watch for the signs of the builders, for the builders will make great things of Denis. And Denis will grow and prosper, but this prosperity is a curse, so the sign of the builders is a curse. You will watch for the signs of the breakers, for the breakers will make nothing of Denis, and Denis will die. But this death is a blessing, so the sign of the breakers is a blessing. You will watch for the signs of the grower, for the grower will see the dead tree, and the grower will see the new springs, and the grower will prune. The grower will grow the new Denis, so the sign of the grower is a blessing. And so for one day I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 4 more days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 20 more days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 100 more days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 600 more days I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And I cried out to the Maker, How long will you make me watch and wait, for I am weary? And the Maker replied, You will watch and wait until the signs come, for you are the watcher. And so for 1 more month I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 4 more months I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 20 more months I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 100 more months I watched and waited for the signs, but there were none. And so for 600 more months I watched and waited for the signs. And many years had passed, and I was weary, but I still watched. And at the time of my birth on that final day, as I waited near the cavern of Rolep, a wind blew through the cavern, and my sight was restored. And the first thing I looked upon was the stairs of Rolep, and I climbed to the top and looked out at the great tree of Dni and wept. And the Maker spoke these words: Behold, you have watched for me, and now I will bless you. Today I have given you your sight, and tomorrow you will prosper. And I will give you wisdom, but I will keep you from pride. The wisdom I give you will not understand. It is for those to come. Be humble, and write the wisdom that I will show you. And so on the first day the Maker gave me 5 lines of wisdom, and I wrote the first 5 lines in 5 sections, 1 in each section. And so on the second day the Maker gave me 5 more lines of wisdom, and these lines became the second lines in each of the 5 sections. For 125 days the Maker gave me 5 lines of wisdom on each day, and they were added to the sections. And then I rested. And this is how these words of the Maker were given to me, but I know not whether they are signs of things that have been, or signs of things that will be. And these lines I have written so that those who come after me will know the wisdom of the Maker. Well, do you know what? I do like the religious stuff. The writing is so good, isn't it? The style of the writing. It's very, very convincingly written. We have first-time chatter Vox Circo. Are you just in time for the Mist Bible Study Group? You absolutely are. Pull up a chair. Welcome, welcome. Jay Strahan says, Amen. Amen to that. At the time of my birth, James Moore says, the Maker spoke unto me, but I didn't know what the Maker said, because I'd only been born and didn't know English, nor was able to form memories anyway. Nice. Nightbot gave me a terrible idea. Guild of Walkers merch when? Guild of Walkers? I don't know. You'd have to give me more. You'd have to give me more context on that one. I'm not familiar with the Guild of Walkers. Do you know what? So the Guild of I survived the walking sim. Nice. Do you know what? I heard a brilliant line today, which I 100% want on a t-shirt. And I might just put one on one of my own t-shirts. The line was, it was, stop the podcast, pick up a book. I was like, oh, that goes too hard. That goes too hard. Now, what do you reckon the odds are that there's some kind of puzzle actually involving putting the first line from each book next to each other to make some kind of coherent haiku or similar? Now, he said it was 125 days, so each of these are going to be around about, 5 pages long. Cool. Let's have a go. Revere the Maker, cherish the maid, here lies wisdom. The door lies at the end of the path. Who will gather? Many. Who will finish? Few. The grower will take time. The grower will bring light. The grower will have ages. Take time and move it to and fro. Bring light and give it to the dark places. Have ages and link to them without bindings. Loud cries yet again. Can it be made? No. We mourn our loss. No one sees. In rock is where changes are found. Because of tunnels, Dni has changed forever. New events surround us, awaiting our arrival. The path is to the left or right. That is the only power of man. The grower leads in the dark, while the deceiver flails in the light. The grower raises truth in the absence of eyes, while the deceiver blesses them in clear view of many. Without the grower, those who are like the grower would never learn. Without the grower, the name known by all would not have existed. Knowing the least is the path of wisdom, a sweet aroma rising up. Kings and prophets, the proud ones, have the stench of death. The passing of time brings the path to the gathered. A breach has been cut, and now the paths are joined. The giving of gifts heals the wound of the builder. In cages they weep time and again, but without their tears truth remains hidden. Your cry is your call. If no one will hear them, weep for us. The choices of the wise bring pleasure to the Maker. The meeting of worlds is death and life. They count years and months. A long week is as short as an age is long. There is noise where once there was silence, light where once there was not. Stone stands tall, and rock falls down, and they are watched always, not knowing silence will return. Light will fade, stone will fall, rock will grow again. From the shadow of the wound, history will be rewritten. The disease will spread until Denis cannot be saved. 7 there are, though little do they realize, only 4 is seen as they see, for 7 is 1 and 1 is 7. Writing of links is a gift to be cherished. Where are our people? Who are our people? What are our people? When are our people? Cry those who die on the streets. The crumbling of the walls will come from within. The stories of the destroyer will be the start of the burden. The burdened one will come from outside. The burden of the remnant will be laid upon his shoulders. Be still, and the path will be made known. What will grow? The tree of all things. Who will grow it? The grower. Pages burn, ink spills. Is there no one to protect us when we turn against ourselves? Books will be your stronghold, and then you will die. The destroyer will cut down this great tree of wickedness. Another place will be their refuge, another place will be their home. Dance and celebrate, for the tree grows again. 7 nameless abused, 6 called abused, 5 sent away, 4 sell to 3, 3 accepted without 18, 2 1 of 8, 1 wear colour and hold paper. Poison fills the hearts of many, new air enters some, believe. The scream you hear has no breath, old ways are kept just to test. Curses rain upon the others from the lips of the proud. Eyes are removed, yet sight is restored. I don't know what to make of any of that. It definitely sounds like it was written one line at a time, doesn't it? So hang on a second. Wait a minute. It's one line at a time. Does it make more sense if you actually read it across? I actually do know some of it. So revere the maker, cherish the maid, here lies wisdom. Do not trust the sons of the burdened one. They will seek comfort in their books. Ooh, is the burdened one Atreus? This is the warning of the fall. Do not seek comfort in your books. When destruction comes, other ages will not save you. Like a tree they spread, like a tree they unite. like a tree they spread, like a tree they unite. It repeats over and over and bring fits to my sleep, from many to one and one to many. In the night they walk through the streets, looking to one another for explanation, trying to understand the mourning that fills the city and prevent them from lying down. Others ignore the wails, they feel safe and talk as though they are immortal. As they too succumb to death, they remember the restless nights. This isn't making more sense by reading it this way, to be honest. The entire books are just a list of fortune cookie inserts. Is it making less sense? No, it's not making less sense. I would say it is making the same amount of sense. Parts of book 2 will sound familiar. Okay, well, book 2 is only 4 pages, so let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. I mean, are we going to read all 5? Let's be honest. Yeah, we're going to read all 5. So, this is a great time to make yourself a cup of hot chocolate or another cup of chamomile tea and just have a bit of a relax whilst you listen to some vaguely New Age religious nonsense. Let's go. Okay. Do not trust the sons of the burdened one. They will seek comfort in their books. This is the warning of the fall. Do not seek comfort in your books. When destruction comes, other ages will not save you. Seen under bones in the jail cells, a row of keys is here. Minds are soft, hearts are calloused. In the new place, chaos reigns. Wisdom is hidden, but a storm approaches and a new river flows. Its waters of deep red stain the land. Cross the valley of dry sand, and new blooms will appear. Wisdom is found. The action of the gathered means nothing. The action of the deceived is toiling in vain. The dam has been destroyed, and the river opened. He who unleashed its fury screams for mercy and calls for help, but no one comes. As death drowns him, it takes everything in its path. Darkness makes the righteous humble and the evil bold. Darkness comes at the end of time. Take the path upward, or those above will travel downward. Seek the path of the shell. The meeting of worlds is destruction and blessing. The kingdom of Denis is not made of rock and stone, but heart and mind. Pause. Is Yesha the Watcher? They rejoice at... That's incidentally, that's not actually a question. Don't necessarily spoiler that. They rejoice at a spark, though they never see the fire. They rejoice at a star, though they never see the sun. They honour magicians and never know of true power. They bow to liars because truth cannot wait. When the tree dies, there will come a new one, a grower to learn of the death, a grower to see a new life, a grower to bring the gathered, a grower to restore the least, a grower to move through time, a grower to link at will, a grower to follow the shell, a grower to banish the darkness, a grower to graft the branches, a grower to join the paths. Black turns to green, red and yellow fruits emerge. And he laughs at the worm, and soon there are many. The hill of fire allows them to find their way. Evil follows their path. No one will take. One will take where another left off. Vagabonds enter unknowingly. Incomplete is the task at hand. Soon there will be another. Though not a king, the ruler dies. The spilling of his blood creates rivers in the city. He laughs and smiles and cries at him, and the one with him another teaches, so that the choices are ours. The patient finds solace in the wait, while the restless follow the path of folly. Follow the patient path. There are three who live in darkness and silence. Blinded are those who search for them. One saves Denis and dies at the hands of rulers. Another destroys Denis and lives at the hands of followers. There is another who both destroys and saves, both lives and dies, at the hands of both rulers and followers. While there is always strength in the hidden, there is great trust in those who live and die. The Maker uses the made who are willing. He provides a light to discern the willing from the wicked. A light in the cavern eases fear and provides comfort for the willing. A light in the cavern causes the wicked to scurry to the darkness. A new life in a new place begins for a few, full of blessings, full of good. But maturity does not come from ease and prosperity. Prepare for suffering, and growth will come. Oh, that line hits a bit too hard. Prepare for suffering, and growth will come. Like, what am I reading here? Angela Duckworth? Okay. Life dies, darkness spreads, day ends, night grows. What is this invasion? For the fourth time they come. Two come to war, two run from war, two die, two live although they kill. All of them, above whom are none, they believe. Yeah, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah, have any of you read Grit? I don't remember the full title of the book. The book is just called Grit, and it's got some kind of subtitle like Developing Resilience Through something. I read it a couple of years ago, and yeah, it is full of basically stuff like that. Like, oh yeah, you know, like hardship growing up kind of turns you into a resilient person, and it's like, yeah, I'm sure that's true. Like, people who experience hardship as youngsters probably grow up to be more resilient than people who didn't. That doesn't necessarily mean you want to create hardship for people, right? Like, I'm not sure. Power of Passion. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. It's called Grit: The Power of Passion and Perseverance. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, like I have thoughts about that book for sure. I have thoughts about it. I am not recommending it. It is definitely not one that I'm recommending. It's easy to take that lesson and follow it poorly. I agree. Yes. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can statistically observe to be true that you wouldn't necessarily, you would stop short at making a recommendation about, you know, like, yeah. Ugh. Larry's got some lore for us. So Atris raised Yisha to be the grower she grew to believe she was, but she never fulfilled the prophecies. Interesting. And Atris called Yisha Desert Bird because the term appears in words. These are the words, I guess. So I say again, 7 there are, though little do they realise only 4 is seen as they see. For 7 is 1, and 1 is 7. Libraries hold the writings of man. Hearts holds the truth of the Maker. Like a tree they spread, like a tree they unite, like a tree they spread, like a tree they unite. It repeats over and over and brings fits to my sleep. From many to one and one to many. Pause. Hearken unto my expressed summons as given. Remain. Know you are meant to go through it and wait nearby. Wait. If you can, be calm. The way is a simple thing to gain. Linger. Be quiet and see what's near. You can open it. Do not forsake the Maker, for the meaning of his name is only for him. Mountains stand tall. New water feeds the stagnant. Through the minds of impostors comes new life. A puddle frozen in time brings strength to the weak. Minds are forsaken and bodies are lost. A river of blood flows from the surface. It is written in the dark. The 10 eyes do not see it. He creates alone, weary of what may come. Why does the Maker not know our choice? Because he chooses not to know it. He sees the branches of all choices. He knows the paths of all possibilities, but the pruning he has placed in the hands of man. This is the strength and downfall of man. This is how man will be measured. But it is many who will come to revel in his joy, to hide themselves from the eyes who do not see the path. One who finds will need, one who needs will find, and one who meets the needs of another will find his own needs met. They will subdue the weak, and it will be their undoing. From above will come destruction, from above will come new life. The wound in the desert will bring forth the renewal of hope. Bring the least, and expect nothing in return. The passing of time brings the past to the present. Query. Now we know from previous readings that the Denis word for the least is the barrow, right? So is this actually a mistranslation, that actually this book is referencing the barrow specifically, or are they talking about more like the general, the least, you know, the meek, the weak shall inherit the earth and so forth? Maybe that's a question. That's a question for Dodo and Larry, I think, maybe, as our two lore experts. Okay, renewal of hope. Circles are the paths that lead to walls and return to the beginning. Take time to know the faces of stone. Take time to understand the path of the shell. What will crush you? The weight of ordinances and laws? What will lift you? The wings of a heart for the Maker. Ooh, interesting. Okay, so maybe a difference of interpretation. So Larry's take is that the least is a term that Yisha applied to the barrow, but isn't actually the name of the barrow. She lifted it from words. Dodo says, talking about the barrow here, you'd say, but the least was always kind of open to interpretation. Yeah, everything ambiguous always. The watcher will watch for words from the Maker. The voice will speak the mind of the Maker. The giver will grant the blessings of the Maker. The destroyer will hold the knife of the Maker. The seeker will share the truths of the Maker. The grower will bring the life of the Maker. The builder will build the peace of the Maker. First, there is a 1, followed by a 9. 4 leads a 10. Numbers cut into stone. I kind of feel like I want to take a screenshot of that one. Whoop. I'm just going to quickly take that as a little note, because that really, of everything that kind of feels like a code so far, that feels most like it would be a code. If understood, they could save, but their value is lost on the blind. Look at the time they spend trying to see numbers. There is no value in such numbers, for only after they are understood. Why do these numbers haunt us so? They laugh upon us and reveal our weakness in the face of the great time. Foolish men, do you think that you are the only writers? Who is the new writer? The rules are written within him. The rain starts and the tree will grow, but are you the one to start it? You did nothing but follow. The grower is the one who leads. You toil and strive to write ages and move stones. The path of the stone is toil for the gathered. Ink will be shared and ink will be lost. The maker knows all the branches of the tree. The maker can send the knife or the water. And few will be greater than the grower, for the grower will know pain, and the wounds will make the least the greatest. But do not be deceived. Few ears in the low places will know the grower, but many ears will hear those who claim to be the grower. Only the ears of the new ones will hear the true grower. Do not be deceived. Oh. That was number 3, wasn't it? In the night they walk through the streets, looking to one another for explanation, trying to understand the mourning that fills the city and prevent them from lying down. Others ignore the wails, they feel safe and talk as though they are immortal. As they too succumb to death, they remember the restless lights. The number of the Watcher is 625. It is the number of waiting, it is the number of truth. You only need to ask what has been viewed to know. A heart, for the least, is the path to forgiveness. Move your heart far from pride and joy will come. A desert bird knows where to wait and watch. A desert bird knows when the storm will come. A desert bird knows where water will flow. A desert bird knows when the tree will grow. A new 5 reign, to bring them back, to return, to unite. A new 1 reigns, to send them away, to push away, to divide. If more you seek, ask, and then be given a ray of hope. A man pulls 10 others behind him because he believes. Another lifeless body is thrown into the cart because it doubts. People line the streets, watching the cart go through their midst, wondering what they should choose and where their own body will be soon. Learn from the least, for their burden is great. A bird from the nest will build a nest in the tree. There is a circle of seasons, life and death, until a final end. The way is made clear at the end of time. Do not fear the wound. It is a way of peace in a time of need, a place of patience, a place of stone. The gathered are known by their faces of stone, a place to fall, a place to be raised. The gathered will fall into the wound. Like the lelum they grow, expanding in size but lessening in thickness, expanding in territory, swallowing enemies and smaller beasts, but dying slowly. For what they eat is of little value, and what they consume destroys the stomach, so they continue to expand until there is nothing left where they started. Winds of change blow from above. Feel the wind, it will move you. The little ones destroy, the little ones rebuild, the little ones remove, the little ones give back. The future is always revealed to those who wait, but the proud have no patience. Because of pride, the destruction will come. This is your one answer. What is given is proof of it. The wound gives birth to the rebuilder of pride. The wound takes the age of the rebuilder of pride. A new 5 reign to bring them home, to return their life, to unite their desires. Rest in the dark, call in the dark, sing in the time of joy, weep in the time of pride. A new one reigns, to send them away to what is good, to return them to what is right, to unite them to what is true. A heart for pleasure is a filthy pit of binding. A heart for the Maker is the clean breath of release. For they have claimed a share of a very old order. I see the tree with only one branch. What misery to watch it fall and never grow. Nothing but a seed that grows slowly. Roots grow, fed by water, growing upward. Only one. The remnant will live in plenty. Until a time of testing comes, the remnant will learn of the Maker from one who learns of the Maker. Okay. Luxum, welcome to the chat. Did I read the Book of Denis? I've read the Book of Atreus. I have not read the Book of Denis. I do have it. And I also got... hang on a second. Can I reach it? Oh, no, sorry. So I had the Book of... Wait, oh no. Now I'm worried. Hang on. The second book is the Book of Tiana, right? Hopefully. Anyway, I do have a copy of the Book of Denis. It's a little paperback. Right, second book is Book of Tiana. Right, so I've read the Book of Atreus. I've not read the Book of Tiana. But in preparation for me finishing the Book of Tiana, and I got one of the old hardback versions, I have got, because it was my birthday recently, someone bought me a copy of the Book of Denis, which is really nice. It's Rand Miller with David Wingrove, and it's we got it off World of Books, because obviously this is like wildly out of print, but it's I was expecting it to be the same size as the Book of Tiana and hardback maybe, but no. What a lovely gift, though. What a lovely gift. It's very small. It's a lot smaller than I was expecting. That's all I really wanted to. You don't think the novels are super canon? Oh, okay, I see. Dodo says, I remember there was once a big forum thread where everything of this was connected and written down nicely, but I think that's unfortunately lost to the ages. See what you did there? Yeah, very good. Wingrove mostly wrote on his own, but he did get some direction from the Millers. Yeah, fair. I mean, the Book of Atreus, I really enjoyed the Book of Atreus. You know, I felt that maybe the second act was a little bit short. I don't know. Like, I kind of felt that Atreus's turn against Gen was maybe a little swift at the start of the third act, but overall, I really enjoyed it. Right? Like, I think Book of Atreus is actually, if you enjoyed Myst and you enjoyed Riven, the Book of Atreus is definitely worth a read, because it's kind of like, it's nice to see those two characters interacting with each other, because of course, unless you get the bad ending, you don't actually see Atreus and Gen talk to each other in Riven at all, or indeed in any other Myst game, as far as I'm aware, unless Gen makes a return in Myst 5, which I would be totally down for. Anyway, Do my wishes deceive me? I have never seen like this before. Darkness and tears fill my eyes, but not today. No longer do they mourn, no longer do they realize their path. Is this the ending? Is this what I wait for? There can be no deception. With such dreams that outweigh my own, does this end have to leave so soon? Do not take the end from me. Do not put out the least, for they will save you. The gathered will tell of the path of the shell. The bound will know of the path of the stone. Words are many, but action is what is desired. The gathered will find rest when the light comes. The circle is broken. The metal melted in the fire. Strangely, the cloth does not burn. The cloth of many, it remains in the fire and produces new life. Though the circle is gone, it has brought triumph. The dreams of the wise are a gift from the maker. The cleft is a blessing to the gathered. Contempt is a gift from the accuser. Roll the stone to know the deceiver. They ask for it again. They cry out for yesterday. They want wisdom united under one. Never, he says. That time has vanished. Misery will be great if the ancient place is visited again. Can a dead tree grow again? A man looks and sees death. It has been cut to nothing. There are no more branches, and no future is seen, but the Maker looks and sees life beneath the death and destruction. A drop of water falls from the sky and begins the journey downward, and the roots drink deeply. With the wisdom of the grower, a new branch will grow. The burden one will write to save worlds and save one. The dreamer will dream to save worlds and save many. The path is folly for those who toil. The path is wise for those who wait. I see the tree with so many branches. What a sight to watch it fall and grow again. Can teeth replace books? Can hands replace ink? Can mirrors replace memory? Can one replace the many? When such things are believed, so an ending nears. The Maker listens to Denis, and he hears nothing. All of them look over you, and they do not see the right path. Following the path of light, enter a new beginning. They seek answers in ink and paper, and only find truth. They seek change in truth, and only find empty hearts. They follow the truth and denounce all that is within. Evil is buried as quickly as love. They study the truth and denounce all choice. Evil is shunned as quickly as good. They write the truth and denounce all that came before. Perfection is sought as quickly as evil. Seek knowledge and you will find evil. Seek wisdom and you will find knowledge. Seek truth and you will find wisdom. Seek love and you will find truth. And fear leads to the dark side. A new river flows through the land. Its paths are chosen wisely. The waters have lived through many dry lands and are no longer deceived by imaginary images. There are some who hear it roar through the land, to see the dark waves and ripples. Those who refuse to acknowledge that it flows are swept away by the storms that follows. Make a path to the sun, and the light will shine upon you. Make a path to the sky, and the storms will come. A new tree buries the beliefs of old, a tree of stone and power. Deep roots sustain it, roots that absorb the waters of the past, waters long forgotten, but still flowing underground, under new trees with barks of life and rings of stone. Under the sun is the bringer of destruction. To the wound the bringer of pride returns. But the son of the sun will carry the burden, and his wife will face the storm. Give him a pen, and he will plan. Give her a pen, and she will dream. And a daughter will carry the burden of her father, and the daughter of the daughter will live in peace. Ooh, there we go. There we go. Let's have a quick check-in on the chat. So, Larry reminds us about the location of the cleft, originally being in the Middle East or North Africa in the book, but actually getting changed in later editions. It was always intended to be in New Mexico. Cyan's explanation is that the setting was deliberately falsified to keep the curious from finding the cleft. I like that, leaning into the ARG. That's really great. We have S- in the chat. Feels like Cyan used that ARG to explain things away on multiple occasions. I like it. I like the commitment to the bit. The commitment to the bit, for sure. The map in the Book of Tiana. Yeah, my Book of Tiana came with a map as well, actually. It's... I'm not 100% sure where my copy of the Book of Tiana is. It's on one of my shelves somewhere. But yeah, it has the map tucked into it. Framing it would be lovely. I don't have a huge amount of space on my wall at the minute, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe something for a future project. Okie dokie. Welcome back, everyone who skipped the audiobook section of this episode. Let's check out our first age, shall we? We've got a little bit of time left in the stream. Oh, I like it. We take a picture. Taking a picture of that. That might be a clue. Might be a map. Who knows? So, we've got a table over here with a light. We have 2 linking books and a DRC data notebook. The Watcher's Sanctuary. Oh, you thought audiobook adventures was over? Hope you still got some more of that hot chocolate ready. This is Simpson, transcribed from voice recorder. The Watcher's Sanctuary. Okay, where to get started? The room itself is actually pretty simple and at first glance doesn't seem to have much to it. Well, for your average explorer. There is actually much more here than meets the eye. Much more, at least as far as history. It's practically dripping off the walls. Fortunately, I dig that stuff. Hey, because he's an archaeologist. Lucky for you, I'm also better than your average explorer. We have a first-time chatter in Thor Thunderfist. First time you've made it to a stream. Been a big Myst fan since it came out. And I've really enjoyed following along your journey. Well, thank you so much. It's quite rare that we get fans who've been, fans of Myst for... Wow, I suppose it's actually been like 32 years. But yes, greetings. Pull up a chair. I'm glad you could join us. Might be getting ahead of myself. Structure, circular room with a number of doorways leading off in each direction. Large staircase, might need some support work, leads to an upper level. Okay, this just doesn't work without knowing some of the history and story behind this place. I've got to start there. I've done some translation and talked with Watson, and this is great stuff. Alright, the tree off the balcony. I did do a little walking around. I can't see it well, dark, but it's an old tree. Don't know exactly when it was created, although certain style and material elements suggest as far back as the early 2000s, long before a guy called The Watcher came around. And it's The Watcher that this place was created for, renovated for, and dedicated to from the time it was built in the late 4000s until the fall of Denis. The Watcher lived during the mid-4000s and spent most of that life on hidden, secluded ages. He wrote a book called Words, a prophetical book, Nostradamus-type guy. Strange, though it doesn't seem his prophecies caught on real well at first, though through a variety of events, you can ask someone else if you want to know them all, The guy became more and more popular, then faded, then popular again. You know the deal. There was always a core group of followers, but the overall population wavered, I would imagine, depending on how accurate they viewed his visions. Over the course of time, a whole lot of copies of this book were printed. We've found plenty of them. Now, we've read the history of the Kings of Danae, so we are reasonably familiar with who this individual was, I believe. I think. As I mentioned, the tree, which I still don't know how to actually get to, was built long before the Watcher. No one at the DRC seems to know exactly what it was for. Best guesses are that the tree was built early on as a representation of the Danae that had come here, the new tree. They definitely had a thing for trees. So the Watcher comes along and writes some prophecies. They end up becoming pretty popular, and they do deal quite a bit with the tree, as much of Danae prophecy does. And an unknown guy builds this building with the tree as its focus. Seems like the building was an upper-class lounge or sitting room, pub, something along those lines. The intellectuals come and discuss the philosophies and politics of the day, although there was some homage being paid to the Watcher and his thoughts and ideas. This sanctuary, or whatever you want to call it, stayed successful even while ownership changed. It seems it changed as frequently as the prophecies and religious views of the people. It wasn't until Kadish came along, yes, our good friend Kadish, that the thing really took off. Unfortunately, right before the fall. I've just realised I haven't moved in the past few minutes. I'm standing in a building giving an analysis of it without moving. Gotta love history. So, back to it. Nice little coves in this place. Wouldn't be bad with a cigar and okay Kadish in the fall. Kadish was the last guy to own it, and it seems he did some renovations. This is where the history and current day setup get interesting. The Watcher spoke quite a bit in words about someone known as the Grower. The Grower is prophesied to do a number of things, and it seems there were numerous interpretations of the Grower. Some say this person was little more than a great lord or king, while others saw this person as a superhuman miracle worker, godlike, conquering time, space, the dimension, and everything else. The views on the Grower were as varied as you can imagine. What's important is that Kadish viewed himself as the Grower, as the one the Watcher had prophesied about. As a result, he modified the pub to honour not only the prophet, but himself as well. He seems to be intent on fulfilling as many of the prophecies as he could, so he built this puzzling path of the shell to the tree, brought the Earcana book here, Kadish was an engineer behind its construction, brought the RNA book here and claimed that it allowed him to travel through time back to the Danae homeworld as it was, as it is, and as it would be. Kadish claimed he wrote the book. All of these things to fulfill the prophecies. Even the times of Danae were significant because the Watcher claimed to see visions of the past, present and future. As a result, he wrote what he saw, never knowing if it would occur in the future, had already occurred in the past, or was occurring as he wrote. People flocked to the place. Not only was it the only way to travel through time, but Kadish himself was the only one who could solve the spiral path of the shell and access the tree. In fact, he would demonstrate his ability to anyone who wanted to come and watch. Nightly challenges were held to see if anyone else could access the room. It seems no one ever did, further confirmation of Kadish as the Grower. Kadish bragged that the Watcher clearly spoke of how to solve the room in his prophecies, and that anyone could find the solution there. Easy to say when you did build the thing, maybe I don't get something. Either way, good luck reading through all of those and figuring out anything, let alone the solution to some kind of weird Danae puzzle. So it seems that Kadish rang the sanctuary up to the end. Obviously, at some point we know he died. We've all seen the remains of the poor guy. An odd end for a guy that seemed to have so much. Had a book right there but didn't use it, but that's another story. Okay, History out of the way, and I guess I should finish with the spiral path room. I'm not a big puzzle guy, but the room seems very confusing. A switch closes the door and turns on the light, and some mechanism releases the ball back to its starting point. There are numbers scratched onto the walls of the maze as well. Enough of that. I can see myself going crazy in a place like this. The Dene. Oddly, there is no physical access to or from the city that surrounds the building. We know that the building is up in Jeterai, a nice district, but there is definitely no way to get in from the outside and vice versa. Not sure if Kadish sealed it up, or if it always was, but I would bet the second idea. Makes it handy to limit access. If you don't have a book, you're not getting here. And that would explain why the books here were never destroyed or taken. That's it for now. I'll probably get back here again after checking out Urkana and Arnone, as Dodo recommends they're pronounced. Okie dokie. Right, so we've got 2 books. So those will be the 2 ages that he just mentioned. Before we go up the stairs... Okay, right, we have a little alcove here. Yep, nab the t-shirt. 138. Okay, numbers on the walls, numbers on the walls. Now let's have a quick reminder on exactly what Simpson said on that last page. He said, a switch closes the door and turns on the light, and some mechanism releases the ball back to its starting point. Numbers scratched onto the walls of the maze as well. Numbers scratched onto the wall of the maze. Right, and then we come up here. We have got 1 room, but we do have another number, 189, with a little shell symbol as a little watermark on the thing. 189. We'll just add it all to the notebook for now. And then let's have a look through here. Okay. Oh, it looks like a cool mechanism, isn't it? 1, 4. Well, these are probably verses, right? These are probably verses. I'm suggesting probably verses. Yay, it's a physics game. Oh, no, don't roll backwards. Here we go. Oh, what? We can't push you by reversing into you? That doesn't seem right at all. Okay. The physics is completed for now. That is as far as we can push it. Yeah, you got to ram your face into it. You can't put your back into it. You can't put your back into it. Are any of these interactable? That looks like a button down there. So we've got a sort of wiggly thing around here. It kind of looks like it needs to chonk, to chonk, to chonk, to chonk, you know? I don't know. Oh, someone reminded me to go into third person view. That's actually a really good shout. I always forget third person view. Ugh! 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 Oh, it's horrible. I mean, maybe the third person view helps with the ball rolling section, but... Oh, look! Oh, look! His little hands! his little hands work the ball. That's funny. Okay. Right, let's go back to the prophecy book. So we've got 138, 189, and 14. Those could be line numbers. They could be paragraph numbers. Right, 1, 2. Let's count the paragraphs briefly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Yeah, we're never getting to 89 paragraphs, right? I believe he mentioned there were 125 lines in each book, right? 125 days gave me 5 lines. Right, so it's going to be line numbers. So, 4. Who will gather many? Deep. Right, 38. 1, 2. Oh, wait. The carriage returns are lines. Yeah? The carriage returns are lines? Must be. How many returns do you have on a page? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so carriage returns must be lines, otherwise you're not gonna get enough to make 125 in 4 pages. So the door lies at the end of the path. Okay. Let's go find line 38. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. The passing of time brings the path to the gathered. The passing of time brings the path to the gathered. And then if that is 38, 39, 40, and we want 89, right? 89. Okay, 38, 39, 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 9 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Be still, and the path will be made known. Okay. So, back in here then. Here we go. So we want to do a reset, right? Or do we want to push the ball? Here's a question. Do we want to push the ball and then wait? Or do we want to do a... Oh, the ball had moved. Interesting, okay. So if I push the ball up to the top, and then we stand here. Oh, hey, look. There are cogs turning. Now, I wonder how still I have to be. Am I still allowed to look around? I mean, I suppose we could literally just sit still. You know, we'll just literally sit still. Let's catch up on the chat. So you thought that was a fine line to go off on. Would have been interesting. Darkface says, "Gods, I remember not understanding this puzzle at the first time I played it. Made it a lot more difficult. It is infamous. I don't think you were alone with that. Miscounted the lines a lot." Oh, really? At first, there were no carriage return markers. Oh, and no post-its on the wall? Wait a minute. How would you even solve this puzzle without that? If you didn't have the post-its? Because that literally tells you which lines to look at. Let's have a look on the YouTube chat. You're assuming you know that we're entering the path of the shell content and have completed 2 Denis. Yes, we completed 2 Denis earlier on in the stream. I still have more clues to find. In Uru Live, that puzzle was removed. The Watcher books on the wiki have the line numbers, just in case you want to check you got the right lines. That's kind of nice. Okay. So far, standing didn't do anything. Right, let's try... Oh, that button doesn't do the reset. Huh. Okay, so this is... Look, I can see there's a hole underneath there, which is presumably where I actually want to go. Well... it might be one that we're going to have a little bit of a think on, because we're pretty close now to the end of the stream. Let's have a little second check around here to just see if there are any more references to the words that we have missed. Any more post-its lying around? I mean, the other thing to obviously do is just to go to these ages here, which is like obviously something that's available to us. Like, there's no reason why we have to go and do like that puzzle straight away, and indeed maybe that is the intended path. Okay, well, I think next episode we're going to start by going to that age there, whichever one that is. However, for today, I'm afraid that's going to be everything we have time for. So, if you are watching on YouTube in the future, thank you very much for watching Uru Complete Chronicles Path of the Shell, Episode 1. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, do hit that like button, consider hitting that subscribe button, and I will see you next week. Have a great rest of your week. Bye for now. Okie dokie. For everyone who is here live, thank you so much for coming and joining me on the stream. It's been an absolute pleasure streaming for you guys once again. Thank you to all the new chatters and the first time chatters, and everyone who's been watching the YouTube videos, who's been able to join for the first time. It's been really great having you here. So we'll say good night to YouTube first, and then we will go and do a raid on Twitch. So thank you very much, YouTube. Goodbye to you. We're going to go and end the YouTube stream now. Have a great rest of your week. Bye-bye.